Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about how some express entry candidates may benefit from category-based selection draws. Navigating the complex landscape of Canada's express entry system requires a keen understanding of comprehensive ranking system scores and the evolving patterns within the immigration process. Recent trends indicate a significant shift in the dynamics of candidate selection, particularly concerning category-based draws and their impact on eligibility criteria. If you are interested in this topic, to get all the information, pay attention and watch the video through to the end. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. Recent patterns suggest that express entry candidates who are eligible for category-based selection draw are likely to receive an invitation to apply even if they have a comprehensive ranking system score below 500. If you have any query, please contact us on Instagram and Gmail. CRS scores are the numeric values based on a candidate's human capital factors that Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada assigns to every eligible express entry candidate when they enter the candidate pool. In addition, CRS scores are used to determine the cutoff score for each express entry draw. Cutoff scores represent the lowest express entry profile score of all candidates who received a NITA during a given express entry draw. These scores are important because no candidate with a CRS score below the determined cutoff will be considered for a NITA for Canadian permanent residence in that specific draw. If you have any query, please contact us on Instagram and Gmail. In recent weeks, several outlets have indicated that many immigration candidates are expressing concern over high CRS cutoff scores. Thus far in 2024, there has not been a general express entry draw with a minimum/cutoff CRS score below 524. Note, in 2023, 17 of IRCC's 25 non-category-based express entry draws, general and program-specific combined, had CRS cutoff scores below 518. Of these, 6 draws had cutoffs between 500 and 517, while 11 draws had cutoffs under 496. If you have any query, please contact us on Instagram and Gmail. CRS scores for category-based selection draws in 2024. IRCC has conducted 8 category-based express entry draws to date this year, compared to IRCC's 9 general and program-specific draws this year. The department's CRS cutoff for category-based draws has been at least 33 points lower in every 2024 draw. Specifically, IRCC's 8 category-based draws so far this year break down as follows. February 1st, French language proficiency draw, minimum CRS, 365. February 14th, healthcare draw, minimum CRS, 422. February 16th, agriculture and agri-food draw, minimum CRS, 437. February 29th, French language proficiency draw, minimum CRS, 336. If you have any query, please contact us on Instagram and Gmail. March 13th, transport draw, minimum CRS, 430. March 26th, French language proficiency draw, minimum CRS, 338. April 11th, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics draw, minimum CRS, 491. April 24th, French language proficiency draw, minimum CRS, 410. Accordingly, express entry candidates who are concerned about obtaining a CRS score that is high enough for IRCC's general draws may find value in pursuing an NITA through IRCC's category-based express entry draws, as this allows eligible candidates to benefit from a generally lower CRS cutoff requirement. If you have any query, please contact us on Instagram and Gmail. Am I eligible for category-based selection? To be eligible for a NITA through a category-based express entry draw, candidates must meet a unique set of criteria depending on the category they fall under. Visit this dedicated webpage for more details on all 6 categories, and to see if you may be eligible for IRCC's category-based draws, depending on your NOC code and other criteria. Specifically, in addition to meeting all the requirements included in the instructions for a specific round of invitations, applicants must meet additional criteria depending on the applicable category. French language proficiency category. Have a minimum score of 7 in all 4 language abilities, speaking, reading, writing, and listening, on the niveau de compétence linguistique canadiens. In April, IRCC announced that French language proficiency will account for the majority, 30%, of visas issued through category-based draws this year. If you have any query, please contact us on Instagram and Gmail. Occupational categories. In 2024, IRCC has chosen to focus on immigration candidates with eligible work experience in the following 5 industries: healthcare, STEM, trades, transport, agriculture and agri-food. All occupational categories eligible for category-based selection require candidates to have at least 6 months of eligible full-time, continuous, or equivalent part-time work experience in the last 3 years. This work experience may have been obtained in Canada or abroad. Note: although the list of eligible national occupation classification codes varies based on the occupational category, qualifying work experience must have been obtained in a single occupation under one of the qualifying NOCs in a given category. Who is most likely to benefit from category-based selection draws? Presuming a candidate is eligible, the foreign nationals who would likely need a category-based draw are those with a CRS score below 500. If you any query, please contact us on Instagram and Gmail. Note: the CRS score indicated above is based on the lowest CRS cutoff score of any general draw in 2024, which was 524 on March 25. Immigration candidates with CRS scores hovering around 500 and eligible candidates who do not meet this standard will likely need a category-based selection draw to obtain a NITA for Canadian permanent residents if they are unable to increase their CRS score in other ways. What if I'm not eligible? For candidates looking to improve their CRS score for general draws, there are some strategies to get a higher score without changing occupations. Language is a factor that, if maximized, can be worth up to 310 CRS points, when combined with other factors, such as post-secondary education. In other words, having language abilities, speaking, reading, writing, and/or listening, above the minimum requirements for any of the 3 express entry managed programs can help a candidate gain more CRS points. For instance, although the Federal Skilled Worker Program only requires a Canadian Language Benchmark, CLB, 7, it is possible to achieve up to a CLB 10. In this case, every level obtained above CLB 7 would give the candidate more CRS points. If you any query, please contact us on Instagram and Gmail. In addition, proficiency in a second official Canadian language can allow express entry candidates to gain further CRS points. In other words, on top of the CRS points that candidates can earn for first language proficiency, candidates can also obtain up to 6 additional CRS points, per language ability, for proficiency in Canada's other official language. Beyond increasing a candidate's CRS score, learning a second official language is also beneficial for newcomers to Canada in several other ways. For instance, it can make working-age newcomers more employable in the eyes of companies hiring for open positions. The ability to communicate in a second official language often also makes it easier to socialize and become more comfortable in a new environment. Education. Depending on where the candidate obtained their educational credentials, inside or outside of Canada, education is a factor that can count for up to 250 CRS points. Therefore, either by obtaining further education or by having educational credential assessments completed for existing credentials, a candidate can improve their CRS score. Note: IRCC requires economic immigration candidates who are educated outside of Canada to obtain an ESSA for their highest completed educational credential outside of Canada. Work experience, CRS scores can be increased depending on an applicant's NOC level. Therefore, assessing your current work experience to see if your duties align with a NOC deemed skilled by IRCC may enable you to obtain more points. In the same way, assessing the amount of time you spend at a given job could help you obtain more points, since IRCC awards points for full-time or equivalent part-time work experience based on duration. Additionally, obtaining more work experience may be another way to increase your CRS score. Changing the principal applicant on your express entry profile. In certain instances where an express entry applicant has an accompanying spouse or common law partner, it would be advisable to see who has the higher CRS score. If this review shows that the initially selected principal applicant on the express entry profile has a lower CRS than their spouse/partner, it may be advisable for a spouse or common law partner to be the principal applicant. This will improve the profile's CRS score and increase the chances that the candidate receives an NITA, presuming that the candidates still meet all other eligibility criteria. Note: optionally, a couple may also choose to submit separate express entry profiles for each spouse/partner. In the quest for Canadian permanent residence, it's crucial to leverage every opportunity and strategy available, whether aiming for category-based selection draws or enhancing one's CRS score through language proficiency, education, or work experience. Candidates can chart a course toward their immigration goals with informed decisions and proactive steps. As the landscape of express entry continues to evolve, staying abreast of updates and optimizing one's profile remains paramount for success in the journey to call Canada home. That is all for today. In this video, What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.